DocuWare at its core is a secure, centralized repository for your documents. It allows you to not only manage your documents, but with our workflow capabilities, you can automate your manual approval processes. This is our interface. It is a web-based interface. So what that means is, as long as you have access to the internet, you have access to your documents. Across the top here are a bunch of tabs, and I'll try to tap on each one as I go through the demonstration. The first tab is our DocuWare tray. Think about that as that inbox that's sitting on your desk right now. Documents come into the tray that require attention to move through the process. Now, how do we get documents into our tray? Well, we have a number of ways to do that. We can import from a shared drive. We can scan from a USB scanner or an MFP. We can drag and drop documents in. We can connect through Connect to Outlook. And simply with utilizing the DocuWare ribbon within Outlook, bring in documents either directly into the filing cabinet or into the tray if it requires attention before being stored within the system. The green bar indicates that the document has gone through our intelligent indexing. That's a machine learned technology, which allows you to train DocuWare to remember where information is on the document. If I hover over the document, you can see that it's completely indexed and I haven't even touched the document. It takes about 3 to 4 times before the document is 100% confident. This cuts down on the manual indexing of the document. If for any reason the vendor changes the format of their invoice, and now the information that you've previously trained is in a different place, it's easy to correct. Simply remove, highlight the new piece of information to retrain DocuWare. The next time you bring this document in, DocuWare will know to look for the new information in the new place. Now I simply have to go ahead and store my document. Once the document is stored, I can retrieve the document using any one of these index fields that I have within my filing cabinet. A traditional filing cabinet is limited to maybe the year or the vendor name, whereas DocuWare has the full capability of these index fields. I can search by a date range, or I can drill down into the specific field that I'm looking for and then search and have my document returned to me. Once the document is stored, it's going to go through our workflow by clicking on this task here. I should have an updated task to let me know that I have something to attend to. This workflow capability gives you the ability to do a couple of things within the system. You can confirm and validate the invoice. You can assign approvers to your invoice. You can predefine what the invoice does when it hits your system. So for example, this invoice, once it hits the system, will automatically go through a cost center approval process. I can predefine what happens with the invoice. So 75% of that invoice will always go to management and 25% will always go to G&A. In a traditional accounting environment, this invoice, I'd have to wait until the first manager comes back to me with the invoice with the approval before I can hand it to the second manager. Well, DocuWare allows you to send this invoice for approval simultaneously to both managers. It won't come back for completion until both managers have signed and approved that document. Now, because a lot of managers won't live in a system like DocuWare, we have email notifications that will go out to inform that person that they have a task to attend to. If the document itself is not sensitive in nature, you can attach it right to the email. Otherwise, they can simply click on the link And if they're already signed into DocuWare, they can respond to the task without leaving their Outlook system. This saves a ton of time for the manager to not have to leave Outlook in order to make a decision about an approval of a document. For those managers that are constantly in DocuWare, they're going to receive a task that lets them know that a document has been assigned to them for approval. They can decide what they want to do with this document, whether they want to approve it or reject it. Once that decision is made, that document is then routed back to the finance department for completion. Upon completing the document, there are a couple of options that can be done to get that information from DocuWare into your accounting system or ERP. The first is to allow the system to do what's called a booking record. That will give you the complete information that you need on a CSV file. That CSV file can then be imported into your accounting system. So let's take a look at how easy that would be. We have a document here in our list. Think about lists as a way to kind of organize information within your system. Once we have that document ready for export, we simply run our export. The system will check if the criteria is met and then give us a CSV file, which we can easily import into our accounting system. Go ahead and take a look at that file. On here, you have all the necessary information required to import into your system. If you have a memo field within your ERP system, you'd also have the ability to add a link to the document within that system. The other option that we have, and once that document has been exported, when I refresh this list, that document then falls off of my list. The other option that we have is the ability to automate that process a little bit through an integration with make.com. Once that document is ready to export, we come over to our make, we run our integration. The make configuration will go through the process and see if all the documents meet the criteria. I can then come over to my QuickBooks system, give it a little refresh. And we can see now that that invoice that was residing within DocuWare, the data has been pushed into QuickBooks. So now we have the complete information and the invoice within our QuickBooks system. So this is just an example of what you can do with the approval processes within DocuWare. The great thing about DocuWare is that this is simply just one use case within your organization. This can be implemented within many departments, thereby giving you even more use of the system. Let's say within your HR department, within your sales department, customer service. The use cases of DocuWare are simply endless. For more information, you can go to start.docuware.com or contact your local reseller. Thank you.